The world outside has grown quiet, and the day has folded its wings, leaving space for a gentle, silver light to settle over the earth. You find yourself standing at the edge of a garden that exists only in the soft, suspended moments between one day and the next. The air here is cool and sweet, smelling faintly of night-blooming jasmine and damp, mossy stone. Above, the moon hangs like a polished pearl, casting long, velvet shadows that stretch across the grass. In the center of this tranquil space, a figure waits. It is the Timekeeper, an ageless presence with eyes the color of a quiet, twilight sea. They wear a cloak of deepest navy, embroidered with constellations that seem to pulse with a slow, rhythmic light. In their hand, they carry a brass lantern, its glass panes holding not a candle, but an hourglass flame that glows with a steady, amber warmth. The Timekeeper does not speak, yet their presence is a comfort, a silent invitation to leave behind the weight of the hours that have passed. As you approach, the garden seems to breathe with you, the leaves rustling in a soft, rhythmic hush that matches the beating of your own heart. The Timekeeper turns, their movements fluid and unhurried, and lifts the lantern slightly. The light from within spills out, not in a harsh glare, but in a soft, golden mist that begins to weave through the garden paths. You feel a profound sense of ease washing over you, a gentle loosening of tension in your shoulders and a quiet settling of your mind. There is nowhere else to be, and nothing left to do but follow the soft glow of the lantern. The path ahead is lined with silver-tipped flowers that bow their heads as you pass, as if acknowledging the peace you are beginning to claim. Every step you take feels lighter than the last, as if the ground itself is cushioning your journey. The Timekeeper begins to walk, their pace slow and deliberate, leading you toward the garden gate where the shadows grow long and inviting. You are safe here, held in the cradle of the night, ready to step forward into the quiet mystery of the hours that wait for you. The garden is behind you now, and the journey has truly begun, guided by the steady, golden pulse of the lantern light. You watch the flickering glow, feeling entirely at peace within this beautiful, silent, and ancient garden of shadows. Beyond the garden gate, the world transforms into a landscape of silver mist and ancient, slumbering trees. The path ahead is soft underfoot, cushioned by thick layers of emerald moss that have gathered the profound silence of centuries. Here, the air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and pine needles, cooling the skin with a gentle, refreshing touch. The Timekeeper moves ahead of you, their navy cloak flowing like a quiet river through the swirling fog. As you walk, you notice the trees themselves seem to lean inward, their branches heavy with the weight of long, dreamless sleep. They hum with a low, resonant energy that vibrates in the very marrow of your bones, a sound so faint it is felt rather than heard. It is the song of the forest, a lullaby composed of rustling leaves and the slow, steady pulse of roots deep beneath the soil. Every breath you take draws in the calm of this place, slowing your thoughts until they drift like the mist around you. There is no urgency here, only the rhythmic sway of the lantern light casting long, amber arcs against the grey-white veil. The trees are guardians of this stillness, their bark rough and silver-grey, patterned with lichens that glow with a faint, pearlescent sheen in the dark. You pass beneath a canopy of interlaced boughs, where the mist hangs in delicate ribbons, catching the lantern's glow and turning it into strands of spun gold. The forest floor is dappled with patches of moonlight that filter through the canopy, creating pools of silver where you might rest if you chose. But the path continues, winding deeper into the heart of the woodland, where the air grows warmer and the silence becomes a physical presence, wrapping around you like a soft, woolen blanket. The timekeeper pauses for a moment, the lantern flame flickering in a slow, hypnotic dance, and you find yourself matching their pace, step by measured step. The world of noise and motion has faded entirely, replaced by this gentle, misty sanctuary where time itself seems to have paused to catch its breath. You are drifting now, carried forward by the steady, comforting presence of the forest, feeling the last remnants of the day dissolve into the quiet, silver embrace of the night. You feel completely at peace, letting the forest guide your way toward the unknown, feeling the weight of your worries vanish completely as you walk forward in the soft, glowing silence. As the misty forest path begins to widen, the very texture of the world undergoes a subtle, wondrous change. You have reached the edge of the known landscape, a place where the air itself thickens and softens, turning into something akin to velvet. Here, the seconds no longer tick with the sharp precision of a clock. Instead, they stretch and yawn, lingering in the cool, quiet space between heartbeats. The timekeeper slows their pace, their movements becoming fluid and unhurried as they step onto a threshold of starlit dust. Before you lies a vast, open expanse where the horizon is blurred by a gentle, violet haze. The atmosphere is thick with a soothing, velvet stillness that presses lightly against your skin, a comforting weight that invites your muscles to release their final hold on the day. Every sound is muffled, wrapped in the plush silence of this liminal realm. The lantern in the timekeeper's hand pulses with a warm, steady rhythm, its hourglass flame casting a soft amber glow that seems to ripple through the air like light moving through deep, clear water. You feel as though you are walking through a dream, your footsteps silent upon the velvet ground that yields gently beneath you. There is no distance left to measure, only the slow, rhythmic expansion of this quiet moment. The air feels rich and fragrant, smelling of distant stars and the hushed breath of the universe. You are suspended in the perfect equilibrium of the threshold, where the past has dissolved and the future is but a gentle, distant promise. The timekeeper turns, their grey-blue eyes reflecting the soft luminescence of the horizon, and offers a small, serene nod of encouragement. You are not merely walking, you are drifting into the heart of the calm, carried by the velvet air, your consciousness softening at the edges, ready to embrace the profound peace that waits just beyond this final, beautiful stretch of time. The world is vast, quiet, and entirely yours to inhabit as you settle deeper into the velvet embrace of the threshold, letting the stillness become your only companion as you prepare to move forward into the sanctuary that lies ahead. You breathe in the velvet air, feeling the weight of the world lift entirely from your shoulders, replaced by a profound, serene sense of belonging that anchors you to this beautiful, quiet space. The journey is nearly complete, and you are ready to step through the final veil into the sanctuary of the library, where all stories wait to be discovered in the soft, glowing, velvet light of the eternal, peaceful, and waiting threshold. Beyond the velvet threshold, the air begins to shimmer with a new, golden luminescence. The timekeeper moves forward with a grace that seems to pull the very fabric of the night toward a singular, majestic destination. Ahead, the deep darkness of the horizon gives way to the grand silhouette of the great brass doors. They stand alone in the starlit expanse, towering and ancient, their surfaces etched with constellations that seem to shift and breathe under your gaze. The metal is warm to the touch, humming with a low, resonant vibration that echoes the steady beating of your own heart. As you draw closer, the atmosphere thickens with the scent of aged parchment and sweet, dried lavender. The timekeeper pauses, lifting the lantern high, and the hourglass flame within flickers in anticipation. Suddenly, the silence of the void is punctuated by a sound that is not a tick, nor a chime, but a deep, melodic resonance that ripples through the air. It is the impossible hour, the moment when the clock strikes a time that exists only in the quietest depths of the night. The brass doors begin to yield, not with a creak, but with the soft, sighing sound of a long-held breath being released. They swing inward with effortless fluidity, revealing a sliver of the sanctuary that lies within. A gentle, amber light spills out from the opening, casting long, welcoming shadows across the floor. You feel the heavy, protective weight of the library reaching out to embrace you, offering a refuge where time itself has come to rest. The timekeeper steps aside, gesturing toward the golden glow, their expression one of serene satisfaction. You stand before the threshold of the great hall, your awareness drifting like a leaf on a slow-moving stream. There is no need to hurry, for the doors will remain open for as long as you require. The impossible hour has arrived, and with it, the promise of a peace so profound that it feels like coming home. You take a final, lingering breath of the library air, feeling your eyelids grow heavy with the weight of impending rest, and prepare to step into the warmth that awaits you on the other side of the brass, where every story is a lullaby and every shadow is a dream waiting to unfold, anchored in the silence of this eternal, golden, and truly beautiful sanctuary. Your journey culminates here, at the threshold of timeless wisdom, where the weight of the world dissolves into the soft, golden light of the archives, inviting you to finally let go and rest your weary spirit in this place of infinite calm and profound, quiet, and eternal wonder. As you step across the heavy threshold, the grand brass doors close softly behind you, sealing away the chaotic outside world with a gentle, final click. You find yourself standing in a vast, cathedral-like hall where the ceiling is lost in a soft, starlit haze. The air here is thick and warm, carrying the comforting, dusty scent of millions of pages, leather bindings, and the faint, sweet perfume of pressed flowers. Shelves stretch upward into the shadows, spiraling like the branches of a great, ancient tree, each one packed tightly with books that seem to glow with a life of their own. The floor beneath your feet is polished dark wood, cool and smooth, reflecting the amber light of the lantern held by the Timekeeper. There is a profound silence here, a stillness so absolute that it feels like velvet draped over your shoulders. Dust motes dance in the golden beams of light, swirling like tiny, suspended constellations in the quiet air. You walk forward slowly, your footsteps cushioned by the weight of the atmosphere, feeling the tension of the day dissolve into the soft, golden warmth of the room. The Timekeeper moves beside you, their pace unhurried and rhythmic, a steady companion in this sanctuary of stillness. Every corner of this hall is an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to let go of the lingering thoughts that once occupied your mind. You notice how the light catches the spines of the books, turning them into shimmering threads of gold and deep crimson. There is no urgency here, only the slow, steady pulse of a place that exists outside of time. You feel your muscles soften, your breathing deepening into a natural, restful cadence. The library seems to lean in, cradling you in its vast, paper-scented embrace. Here, the world is reduced to the sound of your own quiet breath and the gentle, rhythmic hum of the archive. You are safe, you are held, and you are finally arriving at the place where all stories come to rest. The vastness of the space does not feel overwhelming. Instead, it feels like a soft, protective blanket, wrapping you in the peace of 1,000 whispered tales. You continue your slow walk into the heart of the library, where the light is softest and the silence is most profound, ready to find the comfort you have sought all along. You feel the weight of existence lift as you move deeper into the quiet sanctuary, finding total peace within this endless, ancient, and truly beautiful hall of dreams. Beyond the grand main hall, the Timekeeper leads you through a small, arched doorway into the archive of quiet dreams. This inner sanctum is perfectly circular, its walls lined with shelves that curve gently like the interior of a seashell. Here, the air is even stiller, smelling faintly of vanilla and aged cedar. The books in this room are not bound in standard leather, they are wrapped in soft, velvet fabrics of deep indigo and muted plum. Each volume feels as though it holds a gentle memory, a fragment of a peaceful afternoon or the soft sigh of a cooling summer evening. As you walk, you notice the books are not arranged by author or title, but by the quality of the dreams they contain. Some hold the scent of rain on dry earth, others the warmth of a hearth fire, and some the cool, refreshing touch of mountain mist. The Timekeeper pauses, holding the lantern high, and the hourglass flame pulses with a slow, rhythmic light that matches your own heartbeat. You reach out to touch a spine, feeling the soft texture beneath your fingertips, and a wave of calm washes over you. There is no need to open these books to know their contents. Their presence alone is enough to soothe the mind. The silence here is not empty. It is full of potential, a quiet space where the noise of the world is completely forgotten. You find yourself moving with a grace you did not know you possessed, your body becoming as light and unburdened as the dust motes drifting in the lantern light. The Timekeeper smiles, a brief, kind expression that acknowledges your journey is nearing its gentle conclusion. You are surrounded by the softest memories of the world, held in this archive where time has no meaning and the only task is to exist in the present moment. Every breath you take feels deeper and more restorative than the last, as if you are breathing in the very essence of tranquility. The room seems to hum with a low, melodic vibration that resonates in your chest, inviting you to let go of any lingering thoughts. You are in the heart of the library now, in the deepest, most quiet part of the sanctuary, where all the stories of the world rest in perfect, peaceful harmony. You feel truly safe, cradled by the history of these quiet dreams, drifting further into a state of profound and lasting rest. Your spirit feels light, anchored only by the gentle weight of peace that fills this room. You are ready to settle into the quiet. Beyond the archive of quiet dreams, a narrow, winding staircase of polished mahogany leads you upward to a small, secluded balcony overlooking the vast, silent library. Here, nestled in the corner, sits a reading nook of singular comfort. A deep, velvet-cushioned chair awaits, its fabric the color of a twilight sky, soft and inviting against the cool, quiet air. As you settle into the chair, you feel the weight of your day simply dissolve, replaced by the gentle, firm embrace of the cushions. The timekeeper sets the brass lantern upon a small, carved table beside you, and the hourglass flame begins to dim, casting long, rhythmic shadows that dance gracefully across the shelves. The library itself seems to respond to your arrival, beginning to hum a low, resonant lullaby of peace. It is a sound felt more in the bones than heard with the ears, a vibration that matches the slow, steady rhythm of your own breathing. High above, the ceiling of the library reveals a celestial map of stars, their light soft and silvery, twinkling in time with the library's hum. You watch as the points of light pulse with a gentle, golden glow, reflecting the warmth of the sanctuary. The air here is perfectly still, scented with the faint, sweet perfume of old paper and dried lavender. Every muscle in your body releases its hold, sinking deeper into the plush velvet, as if the chair were made of clouds and starlight. The timekeeper stands nearby, a silent, comforting presence, there. Gaze fixed on the quiet expanse of the room. There is nothing left to do, no path left to walk, and no further words to be spoken. The library holds you in its vast, peaceful heart, shielding you from the noise of the outside world. You feel the boundaries of your own body softening, merging with the stillness of the nook. The hum grows quieter, more melodic, a lullaby designed to carry you into the deepest, most restorative rest. You are safe, you are held, and you are entirely at peace. The starlight above glows with a soft, steady intensity, watching over you as the world fades into a gentle, dreamless hush. Here, in the reading nook of stars, you are finally home, ready to drift into the silence that waits in the final, quiet moments of the night. You find yourself drifting, carried away by the soft, rhythmic pulses of the stars, feeling the last of your tension vanish into the dark, welcoming velvet of this sanctuary. The hum of the library begins to soften, thinning into a delicate thread of sound that weaves through the air like pale moonlight. You watch the brass lantern, its hourglass flame now a mere ember, pulsating with the slow, rhythmic beat of a heart at rest. The timekeeper moves with a grace that barely stirs the dust motes, stepping back into the shadows of the shelves to grant you the privacy of this final, deep stillness. Every corner of the library feels as though it is breathing in unison with you, a vast, ancient lung of peace that holds the world in suspension. The stars upon the ceiling dim their golden light, shifting from a bright, guiding glow to a gentle, velvet shimmer that mirrors the closing of your own eyes. There is no longer a path to follow, nor a door to open. The journey has folded into itself, finding its completion here in the quiet. You feel the weight of your limbs settle into the chair, heavy and warm, as if you were becoming part of the very architecture of this sanctuary. The scent of cedar and old paper lingers, a familiar comfort that anchors you to this moment of absolute, undisturbed calm. The Timekeeper is a silent, watchful shadow, their presence a soft blanket of reassurance that you are safe, you are held, and you are entirely free from the demands of the waking world. The last echoes of the library's lullaby drift away, leaving only the sound of your own steady, slow breath in the vast, dark space. The silence is not empty, but full, a soft, velvet cloak that wraps around you, inviting you to let go of the final, fleeting thoughts of the day. As the last flicker of the lantern fades into the dark, you drift into the deep, restorative quiet of a dreamless sleep, anchored in the heart of the library, where time itself has come to a gentle, perfect halt. You are now adrift in the sea of tranquility, far from the reach of any worry or any lingering question. The library cradles your spirit, ensuring that your rest is profound, complete, and utterly undisturbed. Every memory of the path you traveled has dissolved into this peaceful void, leaving you in a state of total grace, where the only thing that remains is the soft, rhythmic pulse of your own existence. You are home, you are at peace, and you are finally still, held forever in the boundless, quiet embrace of the archive of dreams, as time itself stands perfectly, beautifully, and eternally silent.